The Amazon is not just a jungle, it's a living, breathing entity. They call it the green hell for a reason. The air is thick, so heavy with humidity you can practically drink it. Every step is a battle against suffocating vines, unseen insects with nasty bites, and the constant, oppressive heat. For centuries, this place has swallowed secrets whole, hiding them under a blanket of green so dense that sunlight struggles to reach the forest floor. It's a world of shadows and whispers, where every rustle of leaves could be a jaguar or something far, far older. It's the kind of place that makes the hair on your arms stand up, reminding you that you are just a visitor, and an unwelcome one at that. Dr. Eris Thorne was no stranger to this unforgiving world. He was a man obsessed, a modern-day adventurer driven by a whisper of a legend. For years he had followed fragmented clues, a tattered map from a forgotten missionary's journal, and the gut feeling that something monumental was waiting to be found. He pushed his team through swamps that could swallow a truck, navigated rivers teeming with predators, and endured nights filled with sounds that defied explanation. Most of his colleagues thought he was crazy, chasing a ghost story into the deepest, most uncharted part of the jungle. They said the Amazon's acidic soil would have destroyed any trace of a great civilization long ago, but Thorne believed otherwise. One sweltering afternoon, everything changed. While hacking through a particularly dense wall of vegetation, his machete struck something that wasn't wood or earth. It rang with a clear, sharp sound. He dropped to his knees, frantically clearing away the mud and roots. There it was, a single, massive block of stone, perfectly cut and covered in faint geometric carvings, unlike any known indigenous art. It was smooth to the touch, impossibly so, and cool despite the jungle's heat. It was the first piece of the puzzle, a tangible clue that his wild goose chase was about to pay off in a way no one could have ever imagined. The jungle had finally offered up one of its secrets. This single stone was more than just a discovery. It was a vindication. Thorne knew he was on the edge of something that could rewrite history. The stone was not natural. Its edges were too perfect, its surface too deliberate. It was a signpost, a marker left by hands that had vanished into the mists of time. As the sun began to set, casting long, eerie shadows through the trees, Thorne felt a profound sense of awe mixed with a chilling unease. He wasn't just standing on an archaeological site. He was standing on the doorstep of a complete unknown, a place that had been intentionally hidden, and maybe, just maybe, a place that didn't want to be found. Finding one stone is one thing. Finding a city is something else entirely. The jungle is an expert at hiding things, and Thorne's team could have spent a lifetime searching on foot and only uncovered a fraction of the truth. This is where modern exploration gets its edge. We now have technology that can see through the trees, peeling back the layers of green to reveal the secrets of the earth below. The team brought in the big guns LIDAR. It stands for light detection and ranging, and it's a game changer. By flying a plane over the jungle and shooting billions of laser points down to the ground, we can create a perfect, three-dimensional map of the topography, digitally stripping away the entire forest. The results were staggering. They were beyond anything Thorne had dared to dream. As the data came in and the digital image resolved on the screen, the team fell silent. Underneath that chaotic, tangled mess of the jungle was something impossible: order. The LIDAR map revealed a sprawling network of straight lines, perfect right angles, and enormous rectangular shapes. It wasn't a small settlement. It was a city, a massive, meticulously planned metropolis with wide causeways, grand plazas, and the distinct outlines of terraced pyramids and stone temples, all hidden in plain sight. This wasn't a myth. It was a lost chapter of human history, staring back at them from a computer screen. The discovery sent shockwaves through the academic world. The prevailing wisdom has always been that the Amazon was too harsh, its soil too poor to support large, sedentary populations. Small, nomadic tribes, yes, but a permanent, organized stone city on this scale? It was unthinkable. This place, which they named Akakor after a local legend, defied all known models of pre-Columbian civilization. It suggested a society with advanced knowledge of engineering, astronomy, and urban planning. Who were these people? How did they build such a monumental complex in the heart of the world's most inhospitable jungle? And more importantly, where did they go? The sheer scale of Akakor was mind-boggling. The LIDAR scans showed structures larger than some Egyptian pyramids and plazas that could hold thousands of people. The causeways, raised stone roads, stretched for miles, connecting the city's core to what looked like smaller, outlying settlements. This was the work of a powerful, centralized civilization, one that had mastered its environment and had existed for centuries before mysteriously vanishing. The discovery was no longer just about finding lost ruins. It was about confronting a massive blind spot in our understanding of the ancient world. The Amazon wasn't a pristine wilderness after all. It was a garden, abandoned by its gardeners. Long before LIDAR pierced the canopy, the jungle itself held the memory of Akakor. The local indigenous tribes, who live on the fringes of this deep, uncharted territory, have always known something was there. They speak of a forbidden zone, a place where the spirits of the forest are strong and unforgiving. Their elders tell stories passed down through countless generations, tales of a stone city built not by men, but by giants or sky people, who commanded the powers of thunder and light. They describe it as a place of immense power, protected by fierce guardian spirits that take the form of giant serpents or shadowy cat-like beasts.
These are not just stories for the fire. They are warnings. We do not enter that place. Anyone who disturbs the sacred ground will be cursed. Some say with madness. Others say they simply vanish. Sometimes there are strange lights above the trees at night, and a low, humming sound comes from the earth. We believe it is the city breathing.
These stories have always been dismissed by outsiders as superstition, the fanciful myths of isolated people. But with the discovery of Akakor, these ancient whispers suddenly take on a chilling new significance. They are not just myths. They are eyewitness accounts, distorted by time.
I am convinced there exists, somewhere in the great Amazon, a lost city, a place of stone built by unknown hands. I have seen the signs, heard the legends. I will not rest until I find it.
The legends have lured others here before. The most famous is Colonel Percy Fawcett, the legendary British explorer who in 1925 marched into the Amazon in search of his own fabled city of Z. He was following similar clues, ancient records, local legends, and a powerful intuition. Fawcett, along with his son Jack and their companion Raleigh Ramel, ventured into the very region where Akakor has now been found. And then they disappeared. No trace of them was ever discovered. They were simply consumed by the green hell, becoming another one of its dark mysteries. Did Fawcett find his city only to fall victim to the curse the locals warned him about? Even today, the area around the ruins seems to resist intrusion. The research teams working at Akakor report a bizarre string of inexplicable events. High-tech equipment fails for no reason, batteries drain in minutes, and GPS devices go haywire. Crew members have reported hearing disembodied voices whispering in languages they don't understand, just on the edge of hearing. Others describe a constant, unnerving feeling of being watched by unseen eyes, a primal fear that makes even the most seasoned explorers anxious to leave before nightfall. The jungle seems to be actively protecting this place, using a combination of legend and strange phenomena to keep its secrets buried.
When you find a city that shouldn't exist, built by a people you can't identify, the theories start to get wild, and Akakor is a magnet for them. Mainstream archaeology is struggling to explain it. Who were these master builders? They don't fit into the timeline of the Maya, the Inca, or the Aztecs. They seem to have emerged from nowhere, built a sprawling metropolis of incredible sophistication, and then vanished just as quickly.
The official explanation is that they were a previously unknown, indigenous civilization that collapsed due to drought, disease, or warfare. It's a neat and tidy answer, but it feels too simple for a mystery this profound.
This is where the theories from the fringe come in, and you have to admit, they're compelling. One idea is that Akakor was built by survivors from a much older, lost global civilization. Think Atlantis or Lemuria. Proponents of this theory point to the stonework, which some say is eerily similar to other impossible ancient sites around the world, like Pumapunku in Bolivia. They suggest these people possessed a form of lost technology, a way to soften and mold stone, which would explain the perfect cuts and massive scale of the construction. It's a tantalizing thought, a branch of humanity with forgotten knowledge, hiding out in the world's deepest jungle.
Then, of course, there's the extraterrestrial angle. It's the theory that gets the most eye rolls from academics, but the most clicks online. Could Akakor have been an outpost for visitors not from this world? The local legends of sky people who descended to build the city suddenly sound less like myth and more like a historical account.
Researchers have documented strange magnetic anomalies within the city's central plaza, and some geological surveys have picked up unusual energy readings that they can't explain. Adding fuel to this fire are the artifacts. Scientists have found small, strange metal objects that are not made of any known local ore, with alloys that defy our current understanding of ancient metallurgy.
The carvings found throughout the city only deepen the mystery. They don't depict warriors or kings in the way of other Mesoamerican cultures. Instead, they show figures in what look like helmets, manipulating strange spherical objects and gazing at star charts. Some glyphs appear to map constellations that are not visible from Earth, or at least not in their current positions.
Is this artistic license, or is it a literal depiction of who these people were and where they came from? The line between archaeology and science fiction starts to blur in a place like Akakor, where every new discovery seems to push the boundaries of what we thought was possible.
Deep within the city's largest temple, hidden behind a collapsed wall, Thorne's team made their most disturbing discovery yet. It wasn't gold or jewels. It was a warning. On a vast basalt wall, protected from the elements for millennia, was a magnificent and terrifying mural. It was a story told in pictures, a narrative sequence that chilled every person who saw it to the bone.
The mural depicted the city of Akakor in its prime, bustling with life under a bright sun. But the panels that followed showed a descent into chaos and horror, a prophecy of a cataclysmic end that seemed to have been carved by someone who had seen the future. The mural shows the sky turning dark, not with clouds, but with a blackness filled with fire and falling stars. The people of Akakor are shown running in terror, their faces etched with panic. The ground splits open, and the magnificent stone buildings crumble into ruin. It's a vivid depiction of a world-ending event, an apocalypse that brought this great civilization to its knees.
But it's the final panel that is the most haunting. It shows a shadowy, towering creature, vaguely humanoid but impossibly tall and gaunt, with long limbs and what looks like a featureless face, stepping out of a shimmering, gateway-like portal in the center of the city's main plaza.
What does this mural mean? Is it a historical record of what destroyed the city, or is it a prophecy of something yet to come? The depiction of the creature is unlike anything in known mythology. It is alien, both in its appearance and in the sense of dread it inspires. The portal it emerges from is depicted with an energy that seems to radiate from the stone itself.
Some researchers believe the city's founders opened a door they couldn't close, unleashing a destructive force that consumed them. This theory suggests that the strange energy readings and equipment failures are lingering effects of this event, echoes of a terrible power. Today, Akakor sits in silence, a monument to a people who touched the stars and perhaps paid a terrible price. The jungle is slowly reclaiming its stones, but the story is far from over. The city is a puzzle box, and we've only just managed to open the lid. Every new excavation raises more questions than it answers. The warning on the temple wall hangs heavy in the air, a reminder that some secrets should perhaps remain buried. The Amazon has guarded the secret of Akakor for thousands of years. As we continue to peel back its layers, we have to wonder, are we discovering a lost city, or are we waking something up?